Hello, what is going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing well today, and welcome back to another Bleach Immortal Soul video. If you guys are watching this video, you might have already watched or you might have missed my previous video. I uploaded a video of me summoning for him. I did also show his gameplay, his mastery skill, his rage skill, and everything. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check out that video. I will leave a link in the description for it. But if you guys are just watching this video to see whether you should summon or not, then let's go ahead and jump right in. So just to begin with, here's his summons. It is pretty much the normal summons, nothing new added to it. Just the normal characters with the 2.2% for SSR characters. I believe it was actually 2% before. Hmm. I'm gonna check out my video after this. I'm gonna check out my Okiora video after this and see if the rates were 2% on Okiora or if they were 2.2%, because these rates might be boosted right here. So that's nice, I guess. I mean, it's only a 0.2%, but that is still a boost. Anyways, so yeah, his summons are pretty normal. Just a normal 2160 and nothing too special on it. Now, for events wise, there's the Soul Jade rebate. So if you guys are also interested in spending Soul Jades to summon for him, then this is a perfect time. And yeah, so these are the events that are kind of going on with him right now. Now let's go ahead and go over the character himself. So about the showcase, normally I do a showcase, but I want to level him up a bit more because I don't have enough materials right now to actually do like a full-on showcase of him. So the showcase might be a couple of days from now. I'm sorry for that. I just don't have the materials to level him up, at the moment. But here's what he's doing right now. I got his sword to 3 stars, his book to 2 stars. Level 59, I did get him to 5 stars. I've been saying it for a while now that I will get him to 5 stars. But enough talk right here. Let's go ahead and go over the character himself. Now he is an attacker, bleed, control, cleanup. Here is his bonds right here. 15%, 20%, and another 20% HP. So he has 2 attacks and 1 HP, which is always great because he's a damage dealer. And then his energy right here is an HP increase, but it's a little increase anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. His clothes right here give him an HP increase, his tome gives him an attack, and his emblem gives him an HP. So not too bad overall. So let's go over the character himself and his skills and everything. So his combo skill right here, which is his mastery skill, deals damage to an enemy and grants a 50% chance of inflicting silence lasting 1 round on the target, grants an extra 10% skill damage to every stack of DOT the target, and inflicts bleeding on the enemy target for 1 round. So a really good mastery skill. You have a 50% chance to silence, which is pretty big. It's literally like, you flip a coin and you either silence or not. So 50% chance is really nice. And if they're getting burned, bleeding, or anything like that, that's what DOT is. DOT is basically, I believe, poison, burn, and bleeding. These are the 3 that I know of at least. So if any of these statuses are on the enemy, then he deals an extra 10% skill damage for each DOT. So if you're on him with like Yamamoto or what's his name, Mayuri, he can do some extra damage with his mastery skill. And he inflicts bleeding on the enemy target for 1 round. So he does guarantee a DOT on the enemy, which is really nice. And it is 160% plus 12, which is once again pretty good. Now his rage skill right here deals damage to all enemies, grants a 20% chance of inflicting silence on the targets, and applies dual effect. After the weapon awakens, damage increases greatly and grants a 100% chance of launching mastery skill in the next round. So a really nice rage attack. It deals damage to all enemies, 20% chance to silence, which is not too high, but keep in mind he is attacking every single enemy, so it is a 20% chance to silence each enemy, that's on the enemy team. And he applies the dual effect, and let's go ahead and see what the dual effect does. So the fewer the characters, the higher the damage. Gains extra 10% damage for every character missing. That's really good, honestly, because if you're in a long battle, like say Extreme Challenges is going to benefit you because you do kill a couple of enemies in Extreme Challenges. Same thing with Arena. Usually there's a couple of people missing. And keep in mind, it's not just enemy characters, it just says characters right here, so I'm assuming your team and the enemy team. So if you're getting attacked first or you're attacking first, it's really nice because you're gonna eventually get the 10% damage boost for every character. So that's actually seriously big. I absolutely love it. And it's 130% plus 12. Now, that might not seem high, but keep in mind he is attacking all enemies, and that's kind of the basic number for an AoE attacker, because that's what Yamamoto has as well. Now, his passive skill right here, attack has a chance to bleed the target for 2 rounds. When the battle begins, each alive enemy will provide 60 rage. After the attack, if the target has a debuff that prevents them from taking action, he gains 200 rage. Really, really good. So he cannot rage first round unless you have the Asura War Soul on him. However, he can rage, for example, the second round, and then the third round he can also rage again. So that's pretty cool. Now he can definitely get more rages than a normal character, but unfortunately he cannot attack first round, and I'm okay with that because he would be just way too broken. And keep in mind, if the target has a debuff that prevents them from taking action, he gains 200 rage. So if you use somebody like Matsumoto, Mayuri, these kind of characters, and you stun them, and then he attacks, then you could get an extra 200 rage. So he can definitely get out way more rage attacks than a normal character, but he cannot rage first round unless you use Asura on him. Keep that in mind. But either way, overall, he's an absolute monster. I'd 100% recommend that you guys pick him up. Now, if you're worrying that he might not work with your team, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Now, if you're sure you don't want him, then that's 100% fine. Don't stress about it or anything. Just don't get him if you're not interested in him. But if you're somebody who's competitive, I think why Ichigo is going to be one of these characters like Yamamoto, where he's kind of future-proof for quite a long time. And that's just my personal opinion on him, because I feel like he can work with any team, honestly. Unless you're running like a full Azure team, which I do not recommend, honestly, or a full Black Tortoise team, which I also do not recommend, then why Ichigo can honestly fit in any team. Because right now, in my opinion, the best formations in the game, there's two formations. You can either do 2-2-2-2, so two black tortoises, two azures, and two tigers, or you can do four black tortoises and then either two tigers and two azures. In my opinion, right now, these are the best two formations, especially the one with the four black tortoises and two tigers or two azures. I know everybody has Kenpachi, so you can get White Ichigo plus Kenpachi, and you got two tigers here, and then you can get Yamamoto, which I also know a lot of people have him, and then put another Azure next to him, like maybe Zangetsu or Matsumoto, and then you just run two tanks up front. Matsumoto is actually a good choice because you can run two Black Tortoises up front, and then Matsumoto, which is also another pretty good tank, and then your back row is going to be the damage dealers, Kenpachi, White Ichigo, and Yamamoto. And these just are some examples, you can run many other teams, but in my opinion, White Ichigo is just kind of a future-proof character that will do you really, really good. And that's why I recommend that you 100% pick him up. Now, stars-wise, should you get him to 5 stars now? If you're free to play, 100% no. You probably won't even have enough to get him to 5 stars unless, you've been saving for an extremely long time. But just get him to 4 stars and he will be chilling, I promise you. Like, if you guys saw my Ukiora video, he was at 4 stars and he was doing some amazing work. I know at 5 stars, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, there we go. I know at 5 stars he does get that damage increase, which is really nice. It's almost 10%. It will go to 10% once you level him up even more. But it's way too expensive to get him to 5 star. It's just not worth it for a free-to-play player. So I would just stick to 100% 4 star. Now his War Soul, not War Soul, his talent right here, the attack of all male characters is increased by 0.8%. Not a really big number, but keep in mind talents are usually never very good. So 0.8% attack to all male characters is really nice because most of the time your team has male characters way more than female characters. So it might not be a big boost, but it's still, a boost that you should be looking out for. Another thing that might stop you from summoning, I know a lot of people are waiting for Yamamoto's Soul Box event to get his weapon. While Yamamoto's weapon is unbelievably good, I still wouldn't skip White Ichigo for Yamamoto's weapon. Unfortunately, you're probably not gonna have enough to summon for both of them, so you're gonna have to choose whether you want Yamamoto or White Ichigo. I personally would tell you to go with White Ichigo just because he will benefit you way more than Yamamoto's weapon in the future, and weapons can come back in the future. And same thing with White Ichigo, he can come back in the future, but it's not guaranteed. If you do want Yamamoto's weapon really bad, you're gonna have to gamble. What I'd recommend you do is obviously you're gonna have to skip White Ichigo, get Yamamoto's weapon and start saving again and just pretty much hope that White Ichigo gets one of those, soul box summons. But it's not guaranteed, so you're kinda gonna have to gamble. Oh, I'm sorry. But overall, he is worth summoning for 100% in my opinion because I think you can make him work in any team, literally, and I mean any team, unless it's full Azure or full Black Tortoise, which I said I do not recommend. But this is my own opinion on White Ichigo. Let me know if you guys are summoning or not in the comment section, and what are your guys' thoughts about him as a character. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Leave a comment for any questions or concerns, and turn on notifications so you do not miss any future uploads. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.